his former HBCU players for getting drafted, but then said, Deion Sanders said, I'm ashamed that the other 31 teams couldn't find value in HBCU players. This guy, I don't dislike Deion Sanders. I grew up a Florida State fan. I grew up a Deion fan. But to me, you had an opportunity to play college football anywhere in the country. You could have gone to an HBCU school. Where'd he go? He went to Florida State. He played for Bobby Bowden. Why? Because he's looking out for himself. Then another decision, you could have stayed at the HBCU school you were coaching, but you didn't. You left. And not only did you leave, you took all the great players you were bragging about recruiting with you because you were looking out for yourself.
Oh, this man is talking heavy. He's saying a lot. He's saying a lot of what we've been saying the last few months. Folks have been on this channel. Look at the comments on this channel criticizing me for saying some of these same things. Now we got Mr. Crane and company kind of going in. Let's keep listening.
So when NFL GMs look out for their self-interest by drafting who they think is the best player, then what are you talking about? This guy is a snake oil salesman to me, a grifter of the highest order. And now there's 25 players from Colorado in the transfer portal. Maybe that's just because they can't cut the mustard and they're not up to the Coach Sanders, standard for what he's setting there in Colorado. Or maybe it's because people are catching on to this.
What? Ooh! Yo, that man was talking spicy, like real spicy, like hot tamale spicy. But they didn't stop there. Let's keep listening to what Mr. Crane and company had to continue to say.
Well, it's like that scene from Eastbound and Down when Kenny Powers is on Sports Sesh and that show. And the one guy who played for a long time was like, yeah, I just don't think it's a good look taking this contract. It's more about your relationship with the fans. And Kenny Powers looks at him and goes, then why don't you play for free, dog?
Ooh.
Like, this is so hypocritical to me.
Ooh.
You left you did that. You went to an HBCU, talked about how you were going to change the HBCUs and put them on the map. You were there for what, 2 seasons? First good-looking girl that looked your way, you bounced and took all the players. How can you try and play both sides of this fence? Like, this is just, there's some things that you can kind of get away with. There's like nuance. You can argue. We see it in politics all the time. You can argue your way out of it. There's no nuance to this.
The thing about it is, if you're good enough, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care what you look like, right? Or where you're from. If you're a good enough player, they're going to find you. It doesn't matter. But it's Deion Sanders, the biggest hypocrite in the world. So are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I understand the PR. I understand the prime PR, which is
prime PR. Prime PR. Now, what they mean by that is because Deion wants to continue to stay in good graces with certain demographics, right? And so black people, black people always have an affinity with Deion Sanders because he's one of the greatest athletes, if not the greatest athlete to ever walk this planet, right? But he understands that he ruffled a lot of feathers leaving Jackson State, not just by leaving, the way he left, in the way that he kind of went about it. And maybe some of you think this platform helped to tarnish some of his name when it came to that type of stuff, right? Like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, it's however you feel. But he wants to continue to make it seem as if he and the folks at Jackson State have this beautiful ongoing relationship, and I'm fighting for the black school. But even the white people are starting to notice, like, yo, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, that's just not true. That's just not true. Because if you wanted to fight for the black school so damn much, you wouldn't have left.